Hi, this is week 6, and here is your first lecture for the week. This week in our business in embedded sustainability textbook and other readings that I've assigned for you, we're going to look at how you can decide that you want to have sustainability inside your business, but how are you actually going to insert it? How are you going to find ways where you think that it's going to make a good fit? And we talked a little bit about the fact that this really is a new concept since the 80s and 90s are really, and basically in the early 2000s, when companies decided that because of stakeholder information or because they want to be responsible, they want to bring in these different platforms of using resources wisely, of taking care of social issues that they might be facing. One of the assignments was to follow Richline, and Richline is a company that extracts mineral resources. And in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, they don't so much have to deal with the environmental side, but you saw that they have to deal with the social side. There's child labor. There are areas there and in Burma where the landmines have been sown, and so for people to go and extract the minerals is inherently dangerous in and of themselves. There are human rights issues, so we haven't highlighted those a lot in the course so far, but when you look at the value chain and the things that Richline has had to deal with, it's really been a forerunner. It's also influenced legislation by going to the World Court and the countries and different places where they can help support regulations for tighter social aspects where they can actually contribute to hopefully making a difference in people's lives. So not having these templates, except for the companies who are coming together and they're starting to share them, and corporations are coming together to try and share their best practices with each other. So how do you as a company try to look at this so that you can work sustainability in? And the first question is, how are you going to design this? What are you going to do to, if you have a goal of zero carbon emissions by 2030, how are you actually going to make that happen? And when you go into design, you come up and an intent, which is part of design, you say, this company wants to cut carbon emissions. So you have that requirement and that foundation, and it's after you make that decision, which seems counterintuitive, on how you're going to actually make it plan out. But so many companies have been looking at what they're doing now and how they can fix it incrementally. This is kind of the basis, one basis for how you would overhaul your industry and say, okay, now we're setting a goal, how are we going to reach it? Intent is where you manifest the constraints and the requirements that are necessary to achieve the goal that you've set before you. When you go deeper into it in ideation, you actually look at the individual factors that you have in your business change so far. Where do we get the raw materials from? What kind of technologies are available for us to use, like new wind turbines? And you go through each step from manufacturing and production to packaging, shipping, and then selling it at some place. So you have to look at those. If you choose to look at those factors across all levels of your business, then you should be able to find ways that will hopefully then be promoted so that you can work towards your goal of zero carbon emissions. And then the last point is implementation. It's actually where the rubber meets the road. You have these ideas, you've designed them, you've come up with them, and then you have to take the next step where you actually put them into your business. And sometimes this is going to falter. No matter how well you planned it, something may not work. But companies that we're going to talk about buy-in, that stick with it, they're the ones who are actually going to succeed in having embedded this, and it all starts at the design phase. So that is our lecture for this week. If you have any questions, please email me, and I hope this is a really great week for us. Thanks. Bye.